I'll draw an analogy here, right? Because people fundamentally see these tech shifts happen, and the question becomes, well, isn't security just going to get baked into whatever platform? I saw this in 2015 when I was starting Redlock, and everybody said, well, cloud security will never be a category of its own. It'll be baked in by the cloud providers. And honestly, there's a shared responsibility model there. And I think the principles of shared responsibility extend from cloud to coding assistants. Coding assistants are incredible productivity boosters if people know what they're doing and with the right set of guardrails and the right set of context. And so similar model applies here. And I think, look, the context engineering is, and this is no indictment to any tool that is a coding assistant. They're all just trained on code on the internet, which has the good, the bad, the ugly. We can't as an industry change that. And it is impossible to go label all of that data correctly for these assistants to learn properly. So what is the best thing we can then do is experts like us at Endor Labs, who have invested in dozens of the smartest minds on the planet in security, come around and train security agents to specifically understand the security threats, understand the threat modeling landscape, understand both the known vulnerabilities, but also the classes of business logic and architectural flaws that commonly happen. And now what you do is you put this together, these two together. So the coding assistants that are incredible at writing code, security agents trained by folks like us that are incredibly smart at finding security issues, and then you pair them up together. And so why is that important? If you look at how traditional application security has worked, even if you think about as shift left as you used to be, you would scan in a pull request. Well, if you scan in a pull request and you find these issues, guess where they're getting routed? They're getting routed to the human to go respond to and fix. So all of a sudden, you were trying to create productivity improvements in your company, creating lots of code that gets reviewed down the road. Security issues get passed to the human. You just created another new choke point. So to me, fundamentally, security has to shift all the way to being a pair programmer to these assistants, guiding them as they're producing code on where they're making mistakes and how to fix it. So the end result is what is produced in the IDE is just secure by default. And unfortunately, you cannot get secure by default with just using coding assistants without using the security experts. In our case, the AI security experts. And I'll just add one other thing, Ron, which is I was having a conversation with the CISO yesterday. I think it is so critical now, more so than ever before, to start thinking about how you do security code reviews. Because your worry is not just the known vulnerabilities that we have been fixated about as an industry, the CWEs and the CVEs. Now it's just silly architectural and business logic flaws. You create an API endpoint, you forgot to add authentication and authorization on it, things like that. But the question becomes, how many humans are you going to have in your company to do this stuff manually? And again, this is another great opportunity to train AI and security agents to do code reviews. And in fact, did this math with the CISO yesterday. For a company with 300 engineers, just average doing one PR every working day, you're talking about 75,000 pull requests. And even if you spend only about 15 minutes reviewing it as a human, that's 20,000 man hours in a year. Where are we going to find that capacity? It's impossible. And so we must create these kind of AI assistants for the AppSec team, because I think more so now than ever before, AppSec and product security is tremendously important.